Hi guys, Jeff Battenberg here, 6th-degree master instructor of Taekwondo, owner of Battenberg's Martial Arts and Fitness, but more importantly for you, I just founded the H.I.T League, and the reason you're probably watching this is there's a lot of information out there on a variety of subjects, but we're going to stick with just the H.I.T League and what it is, why I founded it, who can benefit from it, and what it's for. To do that, little history about myself if you don't know me. I started off in martial arts in '87 with the ATA, left them about 20 years later for some different reasons, but they did have a very successful tournament structure, and it was point-based. You score or you touch a target before somebody touches you, you get the point. The matches were stopped between every, for a call for every point. I enjoyed competing in that for a while, and then I really was looking for a little bit more contact. I did a bunch of different types of tournaments. I did Taekwondo tournaments, karate tournaments, Kung Fu, stick fighting tournaments, any tournament I could get into, Olympic style tournaments. The Olympic style caught my attention probably more than anything else because of the level of contact. Again, we're talking about 94, 95, 96. About 96, 97, I decided to try to go for the Olympics in 2000. And got up to the weight qualifiers, so made it, pretty far. Lost to Dong Lee at the weight qualifiers, but at that weight qualifiers that I lost, Master Doug Fuchel asked me if I would be a part of an event he held, which was the Pro Taekwondo, which some of you've probably seen on videos. It was back in '99, 2000. It was held up in Aspen. It was the second event. I fought a guy, Jeff Pennerock. I loved the fight, loved the rules, and then actually I fought another tournament, the World Taekwondo League, after that, up in Connecticut. By the way, side note, if anybody has a video of that, hit me up, because I don't have a video. I don't have a video of that entire tournament. I went there by myself. Anyway, I liked a lot of the rules that they had. The things that are happening today with Taekwondo, with the electronic scoring system, I'm not even going to say if it's right or wrong. It's just different. The game has changed for the electronic scoring sensors. I would like to offer an avenue for Taekwondo fighters that still want that heavy-hitting, trembling shock type atmosphere. We did a debut exhibition match at one of our tournaments in April, and it was received very, very well. Actually, front page of our local newspaper, the reporter out there loved it, the paramedics were videoing it. It was hilarious, but it was really good. Two fighters, one of my instructors has been with me forever, Ryan Spencer, and my son, Sky Battenberg. They're both the same, about the same weight, lightweight, and they went at each other pretty good. Google it, it's on YouTube. It's H.I.T League debut or exhibition fight, something like that. You'll find it pretty easy. The reason for the tournament or the H.I.T League is not to replace another organization, association, tournament circuit, however you want to think about it. I have league because it will be a league of fighters. The professional side of it fighters will get paid, and they'll be part of a league. There is the potential for an amateur side, and that was brought to me actually by after we debuted the original one. A lot of students asked if they could do it, but they wanted to be a little more padded. For the pros, it's shin guards, so that you can't have an accidental knockout. You can't hit somebody with your shin and knock them out. You have to hit them with your actual foot. Groin protector and a mouthpiece. There's no headgear, no chest guards, no forearm guards. So it's good full contact old school fighting. On the amateur side, we wouldn't have that. You would have chest protector, headgear. You'd have all the armor that a student is used to wearing. It would just be with the rules of the H.I.T League. But again, this isn't to replace what somebody's doing right now. This is to open their horizon and add additional events that they could go to. On that note, some of the rules of the H.I.T League, they're pretty simple. Very fast rounds, 90 seconds, 4 90-second rounds. It's a 10-point must system, It's a slightly different 10-point must system than boxing, so I want to make sure that we're clear on the 10-point must system. One player must have 10 points. That's where the must system comes in. However, the second player can also have 10 points if the judge thinks that there was a tie. It does not need to be a 10-9. It's not a 10-9 must system. It's just a 10-point must system. Both players could have 10, or one could have 10, one could have 9. Since there are 4 rounds of competition, there is a likelihood of a tie. And I did that on purpose. I would rather the fighter fight out a 5th full round, or the fighters fight a 5th full round to find out who is the better fighter, instead of having a single technique. After 4 rounds of it being equal, one technique being the winning factor, to me, doesn't allow the fighters to really do what they need to. If they're that tight 4 rounds in, it should take another 60 to 90 seconds to figure out, how do I really beat this guy? Some other rules: there's a 10-second attack clock. A 10-second attack clock starts from 10 and goes down to 0. If it hits 0, there's a penalty. There is a 10-second attack clock judge. Yes, it's a judge that has to determine, did that player attempt to score, or was it a garbage technique? If it's a garbage technique or something that doesn't actually have the intent of scoring, the clock continues to drop down. And yes, the judges will have to make that decision. That's human error, but it's also visible. One of the things with the HIT League that I've made sure is that every judge that sits and judges, or that holds is a time clock, everybody in the audience and all coaches will be able to visually see what that judge thinks. That takes us onto a whole separate system of the HIT League that is proprietary information right now. We're finishing patents and copyrights and all that good stuff, and as soon as it's out, we're going to release the actual the actual electronic side of it. It's not electronic sensors, it's for the judging, electronic scorings. What you see on the debut match is a visual representation that's similar to, but really not as good as what we're actually working on. It just wasn't ready by our tournament in April, and we had a good venue. It's there'll be an elevated platform the pros fight on. It's not high, it's 2x4s. Well, it's about 4 inches tall. If both feet go out, that player is going to be penalized for running. Basically, we want somebody to stay. It's a 20x20 ring. It's huge. We want somebody to stay in the fight the whole 4 rounds. If somebody runs, there'll be penalties for running. But really, we're looking for fighters that want to fight. We're not looking for fighters trying to get a point and then run. The scoring system is based on trembling shock. Trembling shock is super simple. If it hits you and it moves you and it looks like it hurt you, that's a point. If something just touches you and it doesn't do any damage or doesn't make any sense to give a point, that's not a point. I specifically remember fighting a guy at the US Open in I think it was Anaheim, that he was from, I think, the Philippines, and he was real fast. He'd jump in, jump out, do all these double triples or whatever, and I was a little slower, a little older than him too. So to keep him away from me, I'd just take my foot in his face and I'd hit him in the face, not get any points for it, and I didn't intend to get any and wasn't awarded any, but it did what I wanted to do, which was just keep him away. If I'd hit him hard enough that his shoulders would have rotated, that would be trembling shock. Again, that's judges based. There are 3 judges for the match, and those judges, when they see a score, they push a button, and everybody in the audience and the coaches, everybody sees what they see as scoring. That also allows the fighters to adjust their fight according to those judges. I liked to punch when I was fighting. So if I would throw a heavy punch and one judge calls it and the other 2 don't, I can keep throwing the punch, but I know I'm not going to get the points from the judges. So I'm okay with that as long as I know it. And after round 1, you and your coaches get to figure that out. Anyway, so that's kind of what it is, why it started. What was next? How do we watch it? I'm going to live stream the next event. It's going to be a show. Hopefully, we're looking at November of 2017 to have a show with between 12 and 14 fighters. So 6 and 7 fights, matches somewhere around there. If you're a fighter or if you want to be a fighter, make sure you push the button that's below, subscribe to the newsletter, go to the website, download a fighter application, make sure that you can send me some videos of you actually doing Olympic style Taekwondo heavy contact in a match format. It could be at your school or it could be at a tournament. If you don't have that, I'm 160 pounds right now. So if I want to show that I can do full contact stuff, I'm gonna put a 185 pounder against me, no gear, and we're gonna rock. And then video that. That way I'm giving up 20, 25 pounds and showing that I can take shots and deliver shots. Those are good videos. I am gonna be the only person that picks who fights who. I'm gonna be the matchmaker. I'm not a judge. And that is because I wanna make sure that everybody has a good fight, a good matchup with each other. And you only know that through experience. So make sure you get the information to me. If you're interested in either watching fights, helping, sponsorships, that'd be great. We want to get these fighters paid on the pro side. If you again, subscribe to the email, the newsletter. I will not sell email lists or any of that garbage. I just want to make sure that when I do approach a large sponsor, that I can say, look, here's our number of people that are willing to A, come to an event, B, watch it live streamed, C, be able to support it in any way at their own schools. On that note, if you think that you could hold an amateur hit league after you see it, and there's a system and a structure for it, it's not difficult. You could actually do one at your school. As soon as the technology is released, everybody will be able to utilize this. Do the same thing. Just start getting people to subscribe if you can to this website or this email. If we can get you on an email list, we at least have a number that we can talk to other people about. Once again, I appreciate the time that you've taken to look at this video. You can go to thehitleague.com. You can obviously subscribe to the email. You can call me directly at my school, 281-360-5460. We're down in Houston. You can come by and drop by. We're on 59 between North Park and Kingwood Drive. Open door policy. Anybody wants to come train, you're more than welcome to. If you think you know somebody that would be interested in fighting in this league, definitely get in touch with me because I'm actively looking for fighters. However, they need to be fighters. I've already had 2 applicants that sent me their requests, and I know I wouldn't put them on the first card. So that's just me being me. Again, appreciate you taking the time. If you've got any questions, feel free to call, email, or get in touch with me in any way possible. Look forward to it.